The medical bay of Star Station Helios 4 was never quiet, yet today it felt strangely tense. Machines hummed, lights blinked softly, and the smell of sterilizing mist filled the air. Human soldier Evan Carter sat on the exam bed, trying to look calm, even though he had no idea why he was urgently called in. He had fought in battles before, traveled to many planets, and worked with many alien races. But nothing prepared him for the tiny figure walking toward him now. Soft footsteps, slow breathing, a nervous energy that filled the room. She was an alien nurse from the Lyran species, small, delicate, and almost shimmering under the white lights. Her name was Ariel, and she barely reached Evan's chest. Her skin glowed faint lavender, and her big silver eyes blinked fast when she felt shy or worried. And right now, she looked both. She held a tablet in her tiny hands, staring at Evan like he was something completely extraordinary. "Please, sit still," she said softly, her voice unusually gentle even for her kind. Evan tried not to smile. "I am sitting still." Ariel blinked at him again, nervously. She climbed onto a hovering stool to reach the machine beside him, and he immediately noticed how her hands shook when she touched the scanner. Something was definitely wrong. "Is this about my routine health check?" Evan asked. She did not answer. Instead, she lifted the scanner and held it close to his arm. The moment the screen lit up, she gasped, a sharp, quick breath, like she had just witnessed something impossible. Her eyes widened in shock. What happened?" Evan asked, sitting up straighter. She didn't respond immediately. She looked at the scanner screen, then at him, then back at the screen, almost like she believed the machine might be broken. Finally, in a small, trembling voice, she whispered, "Human, your strength. It is beyond what our readings can measure." Evan blinked. "Beyond measure? That can't be right." "I thought the scanner malfunctioned," she said, stepping closer to him. "But I checked it 3 times. I even used a second unit." She held up the scanner for him to see. The bar that normally showed strength levels was glowing bright gold, completely full. Evan had never seen that color before. "Is this bad?" he asked. Ariel shook her head. "No, it's not bad. It's impossible." Her voice dropped. "Your physical energy level is something my people have only seen in ancient Lyran legends." Evan scratched the back of his neck. "I'm just a normal human soldier." "You are not normal," she whispered. Her voice trembled, not from fear of him, but from something else. Hope, desperation, awe. She stepped back and stabilized her breathing. For a moment, she looked like she was deciding something heavy, something she wasn't supposed to reveal. Evan gently asked, "Ariel, what's wrong?" She finally looked up. "My people. We are dying." Evan froze. She continued, "A plague has spread across our colonies. Our immune systems cannot handle it. Many are sick already, even my own mother." Her hands tightened around the tablet. "The only cure we can find must be created from a powerful and stable form of bioenergy." "And you think," Evan started. Ariel nodded. "Your energy level matches the exact type we need. No other species comes close." He stared at her. "So, I'm supposed to help make a cure? You're the only one strong enough." Evan didn't know what to say. He wasn't a scientist. He wasn't a doctor. He was just a soldier who joined the Helios program because he wanted to protect people. But Ariel wasn't finished. She floated the stool closer, climbing down slowly. She walked right up to him, staring at him like he was her last hope. "My people fear humans," she whispered. "They think humans are too powerful, too unpredictable, too dangerous. But I don't believe that." Her voice grew softer. "I have seen how humans protect, how they fight for others, how they care." Her silver eyes shined with something fragile. And when I saw your strength reading, I just knew. Knew what? Evan asked. That you are the only one who can save us. Evan felt something heavy settle in his chest. Not fear, responsibility, a sense of purpose. What do I need to do? He asked. Ariel's breath hitched. Come with me. She tapped her tablet, and a hidden wall panel slid open, revealing a secure hallway glowing with pale blue lights. Nobody else is allowed here, she whispered. This is the restricted lab where we are studying the plague. Only high-rank researchers and royal envoys may enter. But I brought authorization. Evan raised an eyebrow. Royal envoys? Ariel's cheeks darkened with lavender blush. My mother is the high healer of our home world. That meant her people's leader of medicine. She sent me here to find hope, Ariel said. I thought it was impossible. But then you walked in. Evan followed her through the doorway. The hallway was colder than the medical bay. Lights flickered as they moved deeper. Ariel walked fast, almost too fast for her small legs, as if afraid someone would stop them. Is this legal? Evan asked quietly. Not exactly, she admitted. But I cannot wait for politics. Her voice softened. My mother's life depends on finding a cure. They reached a sealed door with a glowing symbol. Ariel placed her hand against the panel, and the door hissed open. Inside was a small lab filled with floating screens, glass tubes, and rows of glowing crystal containers. Evan stepped in, trying to make sense of everything. Ariel walked to a cylindrical chamber with cables connected to it. She placed her hand on it gently, like it was something precious. This machine, she said, is designed to extract controlled bioenergy from a donor without harming them. If we combine that energy with our engineered antibodies, we may create the cure. Evan nodded slowly. So I just stand in it? It is not painful, she said softly, but it requires trust. He smiled faintly. I trust you. Ariel stared at him for a long moment. Her eyes softened. Her small hands trembled again, but this time not from fear. She stepped closer. You are brave, she whispered. Humans always are. Evan laughed lightly. Sometimes? She shook her head. You came with me without question. You agreed to help a species that is not yours. You stand here because you want to save lives, not because of duty. He shrugged. Isn't that the right thing to do? Her eyes glistened. Yes. And that is why you are different. Ariel pressed a button, and the chamber opened. A soft blue mist drifted out. Before he entered, she placed her tiny hand on his arm. Evan. He looked down at her. She breathed deeply, gathering courage. Then, in a soft, trembling whisper, she said, You're the one who can save me. His heart thumped once, hard. He didn't know what to say. She wasn't just talking about her species. She meant herself. She meant her family, her mother, her hope. He nodded slowly. Then I'll do it. Ariel stepped back, her expression a mix of fear and trust. Evan entered the chamber. As the doors slid shut around him, blue lights lit the room, and the machine hummed to life. Ariel pressed her hand against the glass. Please be safe, she whispered. The machine began to glow brighter, pulling out tiny threads of Evan's bioenergy, soft golden light that floated like dust in the air. Ariel's eyes widened, stunned. It's beautiful, she whispered, but as the machine worked, alarms suddenly flashed red. Ariel gasped. No, this is too much energy. Evan felt the chamber shake. The machine wasn't prepared for his strength. Ariel slammed her hands on the control panel. Evan, hold on! I'm trying to stabilize it! The chamber shook harder, sparks flying. The golden energy grew brighter, swirling like a storm. Ariel's voice cracked. Please, stay with me! Evan gritted his teeth. I'm fine. Just do what you need to do. She worked frantically, sweat gathering on her brow. Finally, with a loud crack, the energy flow stabilized. The lights dimmed. The shaking stopped. The machine powered down slowly. Ariel ran to the chamber, her hands shaking wildly, and opened it. Evan stumbled forward and she caught him, her tiny arms struggling but determined. She looked terrified. Are you hurt? She asked. He shook his head. Just tired. Ariel's eyes filled with relief. She placed her small hand on his chest, feeling the steady beat of his heart. You saved us, she whispered. You didn't even know us, but you still saved us. Evan smiled weakly. Is the cure ready? Almost, she said. We need to analyze your energy sample, but this is the first real hope we've had in months. She held him gently, carefully, grateful. Thank you, Evan, she whispered. He closed his eyes for a moment, breathing slowly, letting the exhaustion fade. Ariel supported him as they walked out of the chamber room. But neither of them noticed. On the glowing screen behind them, a warning flashed silently. Energy compatibility detected. Sync bond 12%. Rising. Evan Carter woke slowly, feeling a strange warmth spreading through his body. He blinked his eyes open and found himself lying on a soft medical bed inside the private recovery room. The ceiling lights were dim, and the room smelled like calming herbs, something the Lyran people used for healing. He sat up, rubbing the back of his neck. How long was I out? A small figure rushed into the room, almost tripping over her own feet. It was Ariel, the tiny alien nurse, her lavender skin glowing faintly. She stopped right beside him, her silver eyes wide with worry. You're awake, she said, relief flooding her voice. I was afraid you would sleep for many more hours. Evan smiled. I don't sleep that long. I just needed a break. Ariel shook her head quickly. No, Evan. You were unconscious for 6 hours. His smile disappeared. 6? She nodded, her eyes lowering. The energy extraction was intense. Your strength is far above what our machines can handle. Evan swung his legs over the bed. Did it work? Did you get what you needed? Ariel brightened a little. Yes, the energy sample is stable. We began synthesis right after you fell asleep. He let out a relieved breath. But Ariel wasn't done. She stepped closer, fidgeting with her fingers. There is something else, she whispered. Something you must know. Evan raised an eyebrow. What happened? She looked up at him, her eyes filled with worry. Your energy created an unexpected reaction. It caused a bond. He blinked. A bond? Ariel swallowed, struggling to explain. A sync bond. It is a rare Lyran phenomenon. It happens only when two life energies connect deeply and harmonize. Evan tried to make sense of it. So, because I helped you, our energies linked? Yes, she said softly. But it is not dangerous. It does not control your mind or force anything. Then what does it do? Ariel hesitated, then stepped even closer. She placed her small hand on his wrist. Instantly, Evan felt a soft warmth travel up his arm, peaceful, gentle, like a faint echo of her heartbeat. That, she whispered, is the bond. Evan stared down at her hand, surprised. This is you? She nodded. It connects strong emotions, fear, safety, pain, comfort. It allows us to understand each other more easily. He took a slow breath. And we're stuck with it? It fades with time, she said, unless both people choose to strengthen it. Her cheeks warmed with lavender blush. But for now, it will help us work together. Evan nodded slowly. All right, as long as it's harmless. It is, she whispered. And it helped me know something else. He tilted his head. What? Ariel looked right into his eyes, her voice gentle. You are in danger. Before Evan could respond, alarms blared outside the recovery room. Red lights flashed through the glass window. Ariel gasped. No! They found out! Who? Evan stood immediately. Ariel trembled, panic filling her eyes. The High Council of the station. They discovered what we did. They don't want humans involved in our plague. They believe human energy is too unstable. They think we broke the rules. Evan frowned. So they're angry? They want to seize the energy sample, she whispered, and they want to take you for questioning. That didn't sound like normal questioning. Evan moved toward the door. We can't let them take the sample. Your people need it. Ariel grabbed his hand, shaking her head fast. No. If you go out there alone, they will overpower you. They have guards and stun fields everywhere. I'll be fine, he said. No, you won't, she cried. I can feel it. The bond tells me your fear. You're trying to hide it, but I sense it. Evan exhaled slowly. I'm not scared, just cautious. She shook her head. Cautious or not, you cannot fight a whole council. He crouched to meet her eye level. Then what do you suggest? Ariel took a deep breath and pointed toward a small ventilation door behind the bed. We escape. We go to the hidden lab. The cure is almost ready. We take it to my people ourselves. Evan stared at her. You want to leave the station? Without permission? She nodded boldly. My mother is dying. Many others too. I don't care about their permission. For the first time since he met her, he saw fire in those gentle silver eyes. Determination. Courage. He nodded. All right. Lead the way. Ariel moved quickly. She pressed her palm to the vent door and it slid open silently. Evan crawled through first, then helped her in. The vent tunnel was narrow for him but comfortable for her. Behind them, soldiers shouted in the hall. Boots pounded the floor. They're close, Ariel whispered. Evan moved faster. They reached an intersection where the vent split into two paths. Left, Ariel said. It leads directly to the hidden lab. Evan followed her directions, crawling through the dim, blue-lit shafts until they reached a large, circular grate. Ariel pressed her hand against a small scanner beside it. The grate unlocked and swung open. They climbed out. The hidden lab was bright, filled with machinery, glowing samples, and floating holograms. In the center was the cylinder containing Evan's golden energy, the core of the cure. Ariel rushed to the main console and typed quickly. The cure is synthesizing. We need only a few more minutes. Evan stood guard near the door. How many guards will come? Too many, she whispered. But then she paused, frowning at the console. This is strange. Evan turned. What? Your energy sample is changing, she said. It is adapting, growing stronger. He raised an eyebrow. Stronger how? It is reacting to the sync bond. It evolves when you feel strong emotions. Evan frowned. So if I get angry or scared, the energy changes? Yes, she whispered. Your body is not normal. It can generate more power than we ever imagined. Before Evan could reply, the door slammed open. 3 Lyran guards stormed inside, holding stun staffs that crackled with blue electricity. A taller alien in ceremonial robes entered behind them. His skin was pale blue, and his eyes cold. He was a counselor. Ariel Lyran, he said sternly, you broke protocol. You dishonored our laws. Step away from that machine. Ariel moved in front of the console, shielding the cure with her small body. Her voice shook, but she didn't step aside. I will not, she said. My people need this. The counselor narrowed his eyes. You let a human interfere in our sacred medical practices. Humans are unstable, dangerous. Evan stepped forward. I'm right here, you know. The counselor ignored him. That energy is too powerful. We must destroy it. Ariel gasped. No, if you destroy it, my mother will die. The risk is too great, the counselor said coldly. Take the human. We will handle the rest. Two guards stepped toward Evan. Ariel cried out, Evan! The sync bond flared. A pulse of heat shot through Evan's chest. His senses sharpened. He felt Ariel's fear, her desperation, her determination. It filled him with strength. The guards swung their stun staffs, but Evan raised his arm, catching the first strike with a strength that shocked everyone. Sparks flew, but the electricity didn't knock him down. Instead, he shoved the guard back so hard that the aliens stumbled into the wall. The second guard charged, but Evan moved faster, dodging and knocking the staff away. The guard collapsed to the floor. Ariel stared, breathless. Your energy! It's rising again! The counselor backed away. Impossible! Humans cannot resist stun fields! Evan stepped toward him. Guess I'm different. But before the counselor could react, the cure machine beeped loudly. Ariel's head whipped around. It's ready! She rushed to the chamber and lifted a small crystal vial filled with golden liquid. This is it, she whispered. The cure! The counselor shouted. Stop her! The remaining guard charged toward Ariel, but Evan was faster. He sprinted across the room, placing himself between Ariel and the guard. The guard swung, but Evan grabbed the staff and snapped it in half. The guard froze, eyes wide. Evan pushed him aside, not hurting him, but making it clear the fight was over. Ariel clutched the cure close to her chest. We must leave now, she said. Evan nodded and took her hand. They ran together toward the emergency exit. Behind them, the counselor shouted orders, but the door sealed shut before the guards could reach them. Ariel led Evan through a back hallway that connected to the docking bay. Breathing hard, she whispered, I have a small shuttle hidden here. I used it when I first arrived. They entered Dock C7. Lights flickered as the security system tried to reboot after the fight. Ariel pointed to a small silver shuttle. That one? Evan picked her up gently and helped her climb inside. She quickly strapped herself into the pilot seat and activated the engines. Evan slid into the co-pilot seat. The shuttle lifted. Are you ready? She whispered. Let's go save your world, Evan replied. Ariel smiled, a small, hopeful smile, and launched the shuttle into space. Stars streaked past as they left the station behind. For a long moment, they sat in silence, breathing together. The sync bond pulsed softly between them, calm and warm. Ariel looked at him with gentle eyes. Evan, thank you. He smiled. You don't need to thank me. Yes, I do, she whispered. You risked your life. You fought for me, for my people. And because of that, she looked down at the golden vial in her hand. We now have a chance. Evan leaned back in his seat. What happens when we arrive? My mother will take the cure. Then the healers will spread it across all the colonies, she said. It will save thousands. He nodded. Good. Ariel hesitated, then placed her tiny hand on his arm. The bond between us, she said softly. It is stronger now. It will not fade quickly. Evan looked at her hand, then at her. Are you okay with that? She smiled, small, shy, and hopeful. Yes, she whispered. I am. He smiled back. Outside the window, the stars shined brighter as they sped toward the Lyran homeworld, toward hope, healing, and a future neither of them had expected. The sync bond pulsed softly between them again, warm, steady, growing, and the journey had only just begun.